Good morning, my people. Good morning, my people. I want y'all to be careful this morning, man. It's wet. It's a little slippery, a little sloppy this morning. So, you know what I'm saying? I send the angel protection to watch over you guys. Have y'all to and from work or whatever you got going on. You know what I'm saying? May the angels protect you and your family. I got a question, man. Maybe it's me. Damn, I'm speeding. I'm about to get a ticket. Maybe it's me and I think too much and I'm too. Maybe my intellectual spirit is different than everybody else. But I want to see if we got people that really just think like me, that's just a thinker. You know what I'm saying? I got a question. Right? Okay. From what we are told, the earth spins on its axis, meaning that the earth spins counterclockwise, right? So that means either the earth going from left to right spinning or right to left spinning, whatever it may be, right? So if the earth is spinning counterclockwise from left to right or right to left, how in the hell the goddamn sun rise in the goddamn east and set in the west? It don't make sense to me. Like, you would think the sun would have the impression of rising and setting if the earth was going from top to bottom, if it was rotating like this. If the earth rotated like this from top to bottom, that means when it come back around, you will have the impression of the sun rising. But when it goes back down, you will have the impression of the sun setting. If the sun the sun is stationary, from what I'm told, the sun don't move, the earth moves, right? Now I'm about to fuck you up with something. If the sun don't move and the earth moves, how in the hell you can walk outside 365 days a year and look up and see the moon in the same place every time? How is it that the moon don't set and the moon don't rise? Ask yourself that. If the moon is stationary and the sun is stationary and just the earth moves counterclockwise, how is it the sun can go up and down, but yet the moon can stay right there, and at day and at night you can always see the moon, but you only can see the sun in the daytime? It don't make sense to me, man. Ask yourself that. Because if the earth is rotating, like I said, counterclockwise from left to right or right to left, how is it that the sun can go up and go down if it's moving in a circle? If the earth is rotating around the sun, but the sun never moves, but yet you have an up and down sun, but you have a stationary moon, but both of them are really actually stationary. Why don't the moon go up and down like as the sun? You see what I'm saying? You be having to ask yourself these questions, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, maybe it's just me that be thinking like this. I be having logical explanations for things, man. But some shit just don't make no sense to me. You know? Like, I'm gonna give you another example. Out of all the land they got in the world, right? Hold on a second. Out of all the land they got in the world, and all these wars, like the U.S. don't get along with China, the China don't like the U.S., Israel don't like the U.S. We have all these enemies and somewhat allies. We have different opinions, we have different things that's going on that cause wars and things like this, right? How is it that after all this shit that we can't get along with, you got all these countries can really come together on one accord when it comes to Antarctica? Why nobody own Antarctica? Nobody can claim that. But yet, they all can come together in unison and say, we cool with protecting the Antarctica. Like, nobody's fighting over that land. That, like, What is Antarctica a part of? It ain't part of U.S. Like, what continent is like, what is it about Antarctica that makes everybody want to, all these big politicians and all these goddamn presidents, they want to go here? What the fuck they looking at? Like, you know what I'm saying? But yet, they can come on one accord and say, hey, okay, we gonna agree to this, that nobody mess with Antarctica. Like, we gonna agree to this, that we all in unison on, when they come to Antarctica, nobody owns it, but we all gonna go there, but don't nobody own it. But we can go there and be, you know, it don't make sense. What they going to look at? What they going to try to see? What is there to see that every president, every politician, the privileged ones that got the right to go there and look at? You know what I'm saying? Y'all just think about this shit, man. Motherfucker lying to us about shit, man. They lying. I'm a free thinker, man. I ain't no sheep. And some people might say this shit crazy or whichever, but man, I think for myself. You know what I'm saying? I think for myself. You got to wonder why they having all these goddamn, everybody want to go underground now. All these goddamn billionaires. But all of these people that's trying to go underground is of the Caucasian descent, the European descent. You don't see no black folks talking about, hey man, we got to get underground. Let's dig some cities underground. We got to get underground. What the hell are you going underground for? I'm going to tell you why you're going underground. Because this man-made Bible that was created, not saying that it's not a real Bible, but the real Bible, nobody can understand it because you can't interpret the language of it, because English is not our primary language. But that's for another day. Nobody can interpret the Bible. That's why you had three scholars, which is the King James Bible, which is the most popular Bible there is. King James was also a scholar. He got together with 4 more other scholars and say, okay, let's go ahead and see, can we decipher these scriptures to the best of our abilities and to the best of our knowledge. And they came up with their best interpretation of what was being said in those scriptures, and they printed it in the book and they gave it to you. Now, some shit was left out, some shit was still in it. But it's a mixture, you know what I'm saying? But you got to understand how the Bible of man, the man-made Bible, was created. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's evil or everything that's bad is always going to go backwards. Like they say, when you get a lot of songs that were created, if you play them backwards, they got a demonic message in it or whichever. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this shit was given to us backwards. But a lot of the shit that you got to decipher from, you know what I'm saying? Like, the world ended in water. So now, the next time the end of the world come, it's going to be in fire. You see what I'm saying? So, you have to understand, that red thing that's in the air is called what? A sun. In the Bible, they call Jesus what? The Son of God. So is they meaning the Son of God as in S-O-N, or the Son of God as in S-U-N? So when that son, I think that the thing that we call the son, this is just my opinion. Y'all call me crazy, I'm telling you. The thing that we call the son will no longer be. That will be the interpretation of the end of the world, meaning that sun is falling to the earth and will burn the earth. But there will be a rise of the new sun, not the S-O-N, but the S-U-N. Because the Son of God might be the S-U-N and not the S-O-N. Y'all follow me? So that's the rise of the new sun. And the new sun, when it rises, the Bible tells you that the new sun is going to rise and he's going to take the people that believed in him back to heaven up with him. But I think that the new sun, the S-U-N, is going to be the new sun that rise, and it's going to be this sun that has the rays, but only certain people can actually receive those rays that's going to elevate your energy to another level. Meaning that the next level may be heaven, or the next level may be an energy that's heaven-like. But you only have to be of a certain caliber to absorb those rays. But if you can't absorb them, you have to be underground. Y'all follow me? You have to be underground because you won't receive them, meaning that you won't get your soul won't be nurtured. You know what I'm saying? You won't get fed like this, like some of the Bible say, man can't live off of just food alone. You can interpret that in many different ways. You know what I'm saying? But I want y'all to think about that though. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. This first part of the second part. Meaning that the first part, if the earth rotates around and around, not up and down, how can the sun rise and set if the moon is going, if the earth is going around the sun, which meaning that the sun is stationary, but the earth rotates around it. So is it the earth rotating on the axis, or is the earth is moving around the sun per se, moving, not rotating? And if that's the case, how can the sun go up and go down, but yet you can look at any time of the day and look in the sky and see the moon at the same place at the same time that never move? Because the moon is stationary as well. Y'all think about that, man. Y'all have a good one.